Welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon, everybody. This is how I adjust the carburetor on a leaf blower. I know there's other ways that other mechanics might do it. I've been doing this method several times a day for years now. This works for me, so I'm going to share that with you today. First thing that I want you to do is make sure that your blower tube is installed on the unit. And also your air filter. Make sure that you have a nice clean air filter that's on the unit. Those two things will affect how it runs. Now this video is assuming that your blower already runs. If it starts and runs, but just runs terrible, and it just needs some fine tuning on the carburetor, that's what we're showing you today. First thing I want you to do, especially on this model right here, this is a BG55 Stihl blower. The newer models of these are a BG50. We got to get the limiter caps off. The limiter caps are these little plastic caps that stop you from turning the high speed and the low speed too far in or too far out, so you can destroy your engine. You can turn it about a half a turn, not enough for what we're going to do right now. You don't need to take your carburetor off to get these limiter caps off. Put a big flat screwdriver in there like that, get it underneath that limiter cap, and all you got to do is twist the screwdriver and it pops that limiter cap off just like that. Now that's for Stihl brand leaf blowers. You're going to find that on some Echoes, you're not going to see those screws on some of them out there. It's going to either look like this. Here's a Zama carburetor with no noticeable adjusting screws on it. Here's a Walbro with no noticeable screws on it. I have a video also on my channel. It's called Hidden Screws. That's what you guys want to look at. Go back to that one. Hidden screws, it'll show you where those are. You adjust these exactly the same, but on that video I show you where the low speed screw is and the high speed screw is on those. Now if you're real lucky, you got a Husqvarna or a Poolin or something like that where you can see those screws, but they're not limiter caps you pop off. What they do is they make you go and buy a specialty screwdriver, a specialty adjusting screwdriver to turn those. We're going to warm this thing up. Start it up like normal, rev it up, warm it up. Obviously, we're going to take it outside. High speed screw first, warmed up. We're going to pin that throttle all the way as fast as the thing can run. Now we're going to start turning that high speed screw, the one that's closest to the air filter. We start turning that all the way, not all the way in, we start slowly turning it in. Don't let go of that trigger. Keep it running at high RPM. Start turning it in slowly, and you're going to notice a point where the RPMs start to come down. Now start turning it out counterclockwise. It's going to come back up to high RPM, and then you keep turning it out, and it is going to start dropping off again. There's 2 points there. You turn it in, it drops off. You turn it out, it drops off. Find that sweet spot. I call it the sweet spot, where it's running at the fastest RPM possible. Once you find that point right there, turn it out, again at full throttle. Turn it out until you just hear those RPMs coming down. Now turn it back in until it just reaches that point, until you get that nice humming sound again. Just that beautiful humming sound. I love that sound. You'll hear it when I do it for you on the close-up. That's where you want to leave that right there. It's favoring the high-speed screw a little bit on the rich side. Screw. I'm going to take it outside right now and do a close-up for you so you can see and hear how I do that high-speed screw. Let's go. Okay, so now you got that high speed screw is probably exactly perfect. We're going to switch to the low speed screw now, which is the one that's closest to your engine, the one that's furthest away from your air filter. We're not pulling the trigger now. It's just sitting there idling. Similar to what we did with the high speed screw. You're going to find a sweet spot in there. You're going to turn that in until the RPMs drop, and then you're going to start turning it out, and the idle's going to come up to high, and the fastest is idling, and then you're going to keep turning it out until the RPMs drop again. Find that sweet spot in there again where it's idling the highest as it can. Now what you want to do is turn it out again really slow. Just let it sit there and idle and just listen. Turn it out really slow, and you're going to all of a sudden hear where those RPMs just start to come down. You're going to go, oh, that just started to slow down a little bit there. That's where you want to leave it. Again, favoring it on the rich side a little bit on that low speed screw. If you do what I just told you right there, you should have excellent acceleration. When you punch that trigger, it should come up almost instantaneously to the high speed where it's humming as good as it can. Sometimes on a finicky carburetor, I got to go, back and forth a couple times and just redo what I did until it's perfect. The last thing we need to adjust is the idle screw. It's not the low speed and the high speed screw that we just played with. The idle screw just simply turns the RPMs of your engine up or down when your unit's just sitting there idling. In or out until it's running comfortably for you and it's not running too slow where it's going to stall on you. On this particular model, the idle screw is right down that hole right there. Now I do got to bring up one more thing, especially on this model right here. If it doesn't ever come up to high RPM where you know it's just not revving up high enough, it's not something to do with your carburetor. I have another video on my channel. It's called How to Repair a Stihl That Doesn't Rev Up. Completely different problem than a carburetor adjustment. Check that one out if you're running into that problem. I think that's it, guys. I think that's all I can do. What can I say? I hope you liked that. Give me that thumbs up button if you liked it. I hope I saved you some money. That's always what I'm trying to do. You didn't have to take it into a shop and get them to fix it. I hope that's the case. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. And share it with your friends if you want. Now I can go finish my beer. Steve out.